Thank you very much. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, it is really my pleasure to be here with you today, shortly after my inauguration. On the occasion of the Washington summit that takes place in the changing, rather unpredictable and thus increasingly dangerous world, as we commemorate the 75 years of this most successful defense alliance in our history. I am proud that Slovakia has been a reliable ally for the past 20 years, and we will be so in the years to come for the sake of security of our nations, of our neighbors, our continent, and the world. Our historical experience taught us that there is no better option to guarantee our safe place, security, economic and social development than this alliance. The engine of our success has been and remains as a commitment to democracy, freedom, and human rights, with a clear understanding where we belong. Our present and future is in and with NATO and European Union. Strong transatlantic bond built on a fair share by the European allies is the best collective approach to preserve peace and deter any aggression. My country's strategic interest has always been based on full respect for international law and rules, shared values and norms, commitments and obligations. In February 2022, following the aggression by Russia, which we have condemned as a clear violation of the UN Charter and international law, we stood by Ukraine. Our citizens opened their homes to people escaping Ukraine, and many of them remained on our soil. Ukraine must survive and preserve its own national identity, sovereignty, and territorial integrity. And as any other country, Ukraine must have the right to choose its own security arrangements. We will never agree with change of borders by force. For us, in the NATO eastern flank, an eventual collapse of Ukraine would have very negative consequences. Without any Hollywood announcements, Slovakia provides significant and stable support to Ukraine in many ways. We do it through NATO and European Union, but also bilaterally. We still belong to the biggest contributors of assistance to Ukraine, calculated per capita. As the only country, we have organized joint meetings of the Slovak and Ukrainian governments and developed a joint action plan of cooperative projects. And we just agreed a few days ago to have soon yet another meeting of the two governments on the Ukrainian soil. We are one of the most important providers of electricity to Ukraine, so crucial after the continuous attacks on its vital infrastructure. And as our electricity production doesn't depend on wind and sun, our supplies can and will continue also during the next winter. On top of supplies of non-lethal equipment, like demining machines, we have increased production of our own defense industry, including ammunition or howitzers, also for the need of Ukraine. To endure our collective support, we need the Slovak and the European public on our side. What are the lessons learned out of the recent European elections? How can we better prepare for the forthcoming elections, including here in the United States, in this regard? We need to invest more into wide international understanding that we are not trying to disintegrate Russia, but to change its behavior to the one that fully respects its obligation under the UN Charter and international law and its OSCE commitments. And this will be also a powerful message also to G20 and BRICS members. Let me make clear, supporting peace, ladies and gentlemen, does not mean supporting the aggressor. It is up to Ukraine to decide on this. But a just, a sustainable peace acceptable to Ukraine is badly needed. And a just and sustainable peace can only be a peace based on international law. I wish to stress, to safeguard peace shattered by the Russian aggression, we, the alliance, must work on all options to be ready for all possible scenarios. Till peace can return to Europe, the alliance must be up to the task and responsibilities. It has to be the guarantor of peace, yet remaining true to its purpose of the defensive alliance. I am convinced the answer to today's topic, NATO's Russia challenge, lies with us. The future of security on our continent and our own deterrence and defense will be built on our own strength, on the ability to project power to deter any potential opponent, to test our resolve. But we must be honest to ourselves. There would probably be only few allies meeting the 2% GDP goal if there was no war in Ukraine. The Article 5, combined with the strength of the United States, made us more relaxed on our commitments in the past. We have largely ignored the fact it is not only Article 5, but also Article 3 we need to invest in to be able to defend our countries until we can execute a collective action. This is where we need to deliver more. Imagine Russia would not attack Ukraine, but one of our allies. The question is, were we really ready for the collective defense at that moment? We have done a lot in the meantime, an unprecedented strengthening of our collective defense, but it is enough? There are still gaps such as air and missile defense that we must fill in to make our defense up to the task, especially in the eastern flank. We have here several defense ministers, and I wish to ask them, is our defense industry ready to ramp up the production? If we speak about air defense, we may have plans, but how realistic are they? Can we build it in 5 years, or 10, or more? How much time does it take to produce, for example, to produce and sell 5 Patriot systems? Russia has managed to restart its defense industry. How much time do we need? It is evident 2.5 years have not been enough. We need to turn plans into reality, as our opponents do. And let us also not forget about the new. What are the lessons learned from this war? Drones, electronic warfare, keeping the technological edge, and the hybrid warfare that accompany this aggression. Are we already implementing this aggression? Are we already implementing these lessons into our plans and our forces? We have been meeting the 2% commitment already. But will this be enough? Is there a true political will to do the necessary? All those questions may be sensitive, uncomfortable, and absolutely necessary. And we need to find the answers and deliver on them, including in Europe, to send a strong signal to the United States that we are paying our bills and we are a solid ally. And, ladies and gentlemen, we should not shy away from the sensitive and maybe unpopular ones, including how to restore peace in Europe, how to make everything possible to have, again, peace in Europe. Thank you very much. Thank you.